Hey everybody, we're back. More Isaac. Can you believe it? We won that run. If you had told me we would win 2 out of 3 runs, a glunk, that were all pretty terrible, I would have been surprised. RX7ZWKYH. The Lost. This is what you want out of it. Like, you might expect that I would be mad that I got the Lost. That's not the case, you know? There might be a little anger, I suppose, if we got to, like, hold on. Just can't be hit here, obviously. There might be a little anger, I suppose, if we got to, you know, like a 30 streak and then we ran him the Lost, but that's part of the fun. Right now, with the streak of, 2, not too put out by the Lost. And if anything, I like the Lost as a character. A lot of fun. And, I mean, again, it should just go to show you, like, the fact that 3.5 damage, 10 rate of fire seems so incredible is like just an indication of how bad Eden runs can get. Because like this actually feels like I'm unbelievably strong right now. I do want to, you know, let's be the change we want to see in the world. Bag Lunch Isaac. I'm sure I looked this up 20 times. Taking damage has a 2% chance to destroy the trinket and spawn lunch. You know what? I like the idea. I like the thought process. I like where your head's at. Probably not going to be too good for us, considering, you know, if we get hit, we die. This is not who you want to see. That's for sure. So here's what I would say about this. You got to take out this first one. Easy enough. You got to use this bomb. Take out the second one. Do a quick little stomp. Take out the third one. Look at that. This is textbook, baby. Take me down to the next floor. All right. I mean, that was good. I'm really happy we had the High Priestess. We got to be careful. Like, to thine own self be true, right? The problem that I'm going to have here is that with an orbital, there's going to be a lot of temptation to do damage with the orbital, but that puts me at great personal risk as well. Now, I got to tell you, Crack the Sky, absolutely a beautiful item that I am extremely happy to have, and it got us out of a pinch kind of early, honestly. We should just keep shooting. I'm very pleased with this run. Like I don't see any reason why this run would have to eat it. Now the only other thing we'd be looking for is a respawn. The big one I honestly think is Dark Judas, but 9 lives would be great as well. You know, if we got I mean the 1-up is probably the worst, along with Guppy's Collar, I suppose. But if we got like the Ankh, that would be pretty cool. Let me just check out this double key room. We need bombs. Like, hold on. I just, you should be a little cautious, you know? Well, we will not get bombs. Unless. So that generates flies when we pick up coins. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I gotta tell you, more options. That's a good item. If we could get that before the boss fight, I would be mighty pleased. I'm not gonna do this for, like, you know, if we could have this and Petrified Poop and then get them both, that'd be pretty stoked. But let's not worry about that just yet. Alright, more options. Very, very good. I don't think we really need to worry about buying a bomb, because the Tinted Rocks mostly provide value if you get Small Rock or maybe like a Golden Chest. It's an inversion of the norm. But it's a secondary priority. Being able to select the item we want between 2 items. Okay, so I have... I'm dumb. Basically, first off, this is free, so we like it. I forgot that you actually get extra items from item rooms, not extra items from boss rooms. Still very good, for the record. Still very nice. But not as nice as immediately as I would have thought. I thought maybe like they would repopulate the room with another item, but it is what it is. So anyway, you know, we're not going to get a whole lot of downtime on this run to, you know, talk about, you know, well, my aims and ambitions and values and etc., etc., you know, to banter about middle school and living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes. Oh yeah, you can find them at the market. We're talking about flea market. Montgomery, it's just like a mini mall. Anyway, I support that. No bombs, really. A little surprising, just a little surprising. So I gotta tell you, there is a viral video. There's like a viral video rabbit hole that I've been trying to find my way out of for a while. In maybe 2009, a video went viral, and it was an Oklahoma barbecue restaurant called Mr. Spriggs Barbecue, and it went viral because it was their commercial on like local TV, and they put so much sauce on it. You know, like it was like an R&B produced jingle that was like, let me get some of that good meat falls off the bone. Baby, you're hungry. Baby, I'm hungry. Let's go to Mr. Spriggs and get us some ribs. 347 South Air Depot. Let me get that SPRIGGS. When you deal with Mr. Spriggs, you only deal with the best. Let me get that SPRIGGS. Call 7338522. Mr. Spriggs Barbecue. Always. Anyway, like it keeps going like that for a while. That's almost the whole song. Now, anyway, John C. Reilly, noted memer John C. Reilly, we are going to peep this, went on one of the late night shows. I almost walked into that. That would have been pretty bad. He went on one of the late night shows. You know, one of the Jimmys. It was back in the day. Maybe Craig was still around. Craig Ferguson, not Craig Kilborn. And he sang like a really good rendition of the song. It was kind of like, you know, John C. Reilly is an affable guy that's kind of, you know, well-liked to begin with. And then him kind of singing this wholesome barbecue jingle was a nice little bit of content, right? I swear that video has been scrubbed from the internet. I can't find it. Every once in a while, I try to find it. I think to myself, because it almost exists only in memory. The idea that John C. Reilly did this. Like, it's like a fever dream. You can't be 100% sure if it actually took place or if you just wanted it to. I can't believe we actually got Small Rock, dude. That's pretty sweet. I can't believe we have not killed a single enemy here. There we go. We're just playing with fire the longer that room goes on, right? Anyway, long story short, I know it exists because I think there's like, you know, Mashable links or whatever, like stories that are like, you won't believe what John C. Reilly did on Jimmy Kimmel last night, but like the video doesn't exist anymore. It's crazy to think it might be like the director's cut of Event Horizon that like only existed in that Romanian gravel mine. Yeah, you just look it up. It's a real story. You can just look it up. And every once in a while, it just gets stuck in my head, you know? Let me get some of that good. I love like commercial jingles. I wouldn't actually listen to them like in my downtime, but there's like I don't know, the way they stick in your head is just crazy, right? Like 800-538-200 Empire today, you know? The Sleep Country Canada, why buy a mattress anywhere else? And then like if you lived in an area that got television from upstate New York, the heavy hitters are all you need. Call 1-800-10-1333. Like, just... You would think... I don't know, man. Like, I'm a little scared, I guess, of any lawyer that advertises on TV. It's a weird one, right? I mean, I guess we never get hit, so Ghost Baby's probably a little better. That's not, like... I'm not trying to flatter myself. I just mean, like, literally, we can't take damage unless we'll... You know, if we do, we die. Why is there... I mean, I probably know that the answer to this question is economics, right? But why are all television lawyer ads for, like, two different things? One of them is like, do you have a DUI? And then the other one is like, have you been injured in a... I don't know why it always has, like, a more serious tone. If you've been injured in an industrial paper shredder accident between 1987 and 2020, you may be entitled to compensation. Nothing hits harder than a diamond. Anyway, Just gonna check for a secret room here real quick. Okay, let's go. I'm stoked we got the Joker. I was kind of hoping we'd get the, you know, crack the sky charge, but Gertie's pretty easy. Why is there never, like, an ad for a lawyer that's like, have you got a will? I'll do it. I'll do it for you. It's like, I'll do it for like 150 bucks. I'll make a will. And then, it, you know, it'd be like, you know, it wouldn't have like a catchy name, you know. It wouldn't be like, you know, Axe and Hammer Law. Like, how does that even happen? Like, do they, like, you get born, your last name is Hammer, and you're like, well, now I just gotta be a lawyer. And then you're like, you know, trying to get, you know, a partner for your law firm, and they're like, well, my name is like Tom Flynn. And you're like, Flynn and Hammer? I don't think so. My name's Damien Axe. You're hired. I just don't get it, I guess. By the way, again, this is not that good, but it's at least okay. Just is crazy to me. I would love to see some ads for law firms that, I don't know, we're just kind of like, you know, because you can see a lawyer for things that are not just catastrophic life events. You know, you need a will. You know, maybe you're incorporating or something like that. Like, you know, it happens. I'm not saying you need it on the regular. I'm just saying, you know, it's possible. The ads, they'll scare the crap out of you. I remember, like, the ads during, like, Vancouver Canucks games. There's this British Columbian law firm that I guess specializes in, like, you know, divorce trials. And the ads will have, like, the announcers from the hockey game, which is so bizarre. But anyway, I mean, like, hey, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, right? But, you know, they'll be, like, in a weird green-screened, like, law library. And they'll be, like, you know, the announcer will be like, so you're saying if my wife wanted to leave me, she could take 50% of everything that I own? And then the lawyer's like, yeah, Dan, that's how the law works in BC. And then the announcer goes like, well, I better call you before my wife does. And I'm like, man, this is like, I'm not saying, like, obviously nobody, like, intends for, you know, the marriage to break down like that, but still, like, it's just kind of like a very a cynical ad, I guess. It's like, I better, the idea that, like, if you're so scared that, we'll take it. You're so scared that you might get divorced that you're like, I better call a divorce lawyer. Maybe you could also, like, go to counseling first. I don't know, but I mean, that wouldn't really, I guess, fit in the ad. They've only got 30 seconds. Lawyer's not going to be like, well, have you considered talking it out? What are her major grievances? Okay, this is spooky. Took damage early. Like I said in the last episode, you don't intend to take damage against Chubb like this. But things happen from time to time. So I'm just gonna chill out. I'm gonna just piggyback, by the way, off of Justin's tweet, HC Justin. He tweeted, because I love these, like, creative song ideas, right? That, like, this is not the boss I want to fight right now, for the record, but I love these creative song ideas that are basically just, like, one-note jokes. Like Neil Cicierega type stuff, right? But not actually making it, just suggesting, like, what if... Okay, that was a little close. Like, what if someone made this? I can't believe we're actually going to live here. That was a little spicy, but we made it. Very proud of myself. So he tweeted, like, he's had in his head for years this idea, like, Imagine by John Lennon, but the song just goes, Imagine Dragons. And then the rest of the song is just, it's the same song, but there's no lyrics. It's just the piano bit. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's a good joke. I don't think it's a very listenable song, but I think it's a good joke. And I did tweet him. I tried to yes-end him a little bit. I said, great tweet. What if we, like, I've just got one suggestion. What if we also kept the ooh, ooh, ooh before the chorus? So it'd be like, Imagine Dragons, the donkey, 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 donkey. Donkey, donkey, dunkety, donkey, 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 dunkety, the donkey, donkey, dunkety. Woo-hoo-hoo. Sorry, I had to... In order for that bit to make 1% of people laugh and 99% of people be upset, it had to... I had to commit, so I apologize. If you're part of that 1%, then I hope you enjoyed the joke enough to make up for the other people that are just going to be upset. Why am I still blowing up Tinted Rocks, man? Blowing up Tinted Rocks outside the Tasty Freeze. I do appreciate the flies. Okay. Well, we're alive, and that's like, that's worth something, man. We're gonna get an item we're not really a huge fan of, but... So this floor ended up giving us Grandpa Fly, do-do-do-do-do-do, and also Little Chad, neither of which are particularly useful right now, but I mean, we're still alive, which is, again, that's something, man. Did you know, by the way, and I apologize, because you're about to get earwormed, but did you know that the company that makes Baby Shark has built a multi, like, double-digit million, maybe even triple-digit million empire based on just taking the tune to Baby Shark and repurposing it for every possible connection of verbs, nouns, and adjectives? Like, I didn't fully know this, but, like... So they got Baby Shark, Grandpa Shark, Uncle Shark, Santa Shark, you know, Pumpkin Shark, for all the holidays, you know. Irish Shark, doot, that's the St. Patrick's Day edition. I am not joking. I will say I don't know if Irish Shark actually exists, but it's like that, you know. But then they've also, on top of that, they've got, like, you know, wash your hands, do, wash your... It's crazy, man. They've got the ultimate business model. Here I am... Like a dummy. I thought I had the great business model with Isaac. People watch it forever. I'll keep making it forever. It's just that easy. I didn't realize if you just make one song that children between the ages of like 2 and probably, let's be honest, like 4 or 5. It's not like they're going to be 13 and be like, oh, Baby Shark, dude. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare. Because like anybody out there that's on the younger side... if you might not have experienced it yet, but when people go to college in their freshman year, sometimes they get struck with a little existential quandary, right? They go, oh, I'm old. And then they start to kind of ironically listen to the music that they liked in like 8th grade, even though they're only in technically 13th grade, and be like, wow, this is a classic, it's from so long ago. So, for sure... Like, that's how I'm gonna know that I'm not just, like, a little older. That's how I'm gonna know that it's time to, like, legitimately crumble into dust. Is when, you know, kids are going to college and they're going, like, okay, but put your motherfucking hands up in the air if you remember this one. Baby Shark, do, baby. Oh, my God, that's gonna be... That's probably, like, time to... That's my cue to leave, I think. By the way, I don't want Nun's Habit. I think, we came that way. I don't want Nun's Habit, because, we don't take damage. Like, literally. Can't be done. Couldn't be me. Do. Strength. I mean, I'm not gonna say, like, it's any better for us. Like, at the time, though, you feel like you're so cool, you know? You're like, well, I'm a little, kind of more into indie music, but... At our dorm room party tonight, we're gonna play a little Backstreet Boys, a song from way back in the day, from 6 years ago. Now I'm like, man, 6 years ago? That's like 2014. That's like some of the last music, some of the newest music I'm familiar with. We're only 1 year away from the Pimp a Butterfly, man. That's my Rorschach, right, for all that stuff. Like that's still a current album for me. Stop spawning enemies in here, dude. I just want to get items. Okay. That's not what we want, but it's it's good. It's worth a bomb. It's not what we want to hold, I should say. And also, you might be saying, like, NL, you really, like, took a dump on shears back there? Like, you really took metal plate over shears? It's really just because of the fact that, like, I don't think metal plate's gonna do much for us either, given the character that we are. But, shears is literally just a spacebar play, and I think Crack the Sky is just too good to pass up, right? We got very lucky that those all hit. I guess because it's a tiny room, it's a little bit more likely, but... I'm going to focus for just a bit here, and then I'll say what I want to say, which is not, like, controversial. It's just, you know... just need to pay attention for a minute here. Okay, very lucky. Here's what I'm going to say. This is actually, like, a hard Lost run. It's not a bad run in the same sense that I've said, like, our last few runs are bad runs. Because actually, like, if you were to take this run and make any other character have kind of the same thing that we got going on here, you wouldn't be like, oh, it's an easy win. But depending on your level of HP, you would at least feel, like, somewhat comfortable, probably. But because we're the Lost, we really have no items that, you know, would generate a lot of value for you as the Lost specifically, which is obviously super important because they have such unique concerns. Now, the flip side of that is that that doesn't really matter if your run is so good that you could probably just make it through the whole run without taking damage on the merits of your own stats. We're definitely not there. We like the Hermit card, though. We're definitely not there, and I'm being completely sincere. Like, Crack the Sky is awesome, and that's our biggest thing right now. But apart from that, like, the run is kind of statistically not bad, but muted, let's say. Like, maybe just modestly above average at best. So I think we'll not use the Hermit card. In 9 out of 10 situations, I would use the Hermit card here, just because why not, right? Like, you don't want to fight the bosses. Here, we are not going to use the Hermit card, just because it's such a powerful, like, get out of jail free. But I don't know why I'm even talking, like, as if this run it has any chance of winning, because you know as well as I do that we're 100% going to fight the Matriarch on the Womb 1. Anytime your run doesn't pass, like, the Edmund threshold, they're just like, here's the Matriarch, hope you had fun. See you tomorrow for the next episode. That was fine. I'm hopeful that I'm wrong, but hasn't happened before. Just kidding. Anyway, still a Monday over here. I like Mondays. Get a lot of time in the early day to do some recording. I don't have as much recording time as I used to. You know, mornings and after stream, largely dominated by, you know, baby-based responsibilities, which is good and, you know, fulfilling for sure. But yeah, like, that's why, in case you're wondering, like, why the backlog is so low. It's also, like, why I'm so annoyed when people make, like, backlog-based jokes now. I'm like, it's not that I'm annoyed because, like, it's a personal attack or anything. It's just annoyed because the central premise of the joke doesn't make sense. And most of the time, I feel like the central premise of the joke must make sense in order for the joke to then be considered humorous. Not always, but sometimes. So sometimes it'll be like, I just recorded a Crazy Isaac episode. People are like, oh, I'm so excited. I'll get to see it in 10 years. And I'm like, it's not really like that anymore. You know, it's like if I previously had like a 4.0 GPA, but for like the last semester, I've been really tanking it up. I got like a, you know, like a 2.1. And then I was like, oh, I'm really nervous for this exam. And you're like, yeah, because you're probably going to get 110%. You'd be like, no, I'm dumb now. Get with the times. You're working on an outdated frame of reference. Okay, we want to check. It's not very good. It's just not very good. But I will tell you that the Hairpin is extremely good. And actually, we can totally do that because of the Hairpin. Having a charge for bosses is going to be unbelievably important, because if we just play our cards right, the bosses are just going to die or almost die. Worth checking, because we're really looking for Like, I wouldn't turn up my nose at Dry Baby, but we're looking for a card maybe of some use. I don't think we really got it, but we'll try this instead. We'll get some money. I know that we could use the money to get some more flies, but you know what, dude? Like, let's do it. Let's go all the way. That actually would have been really good, by the way, if we were any other character. We got like 3 demon hearts there, which is really good value, honestly. Anyway, I'm just trying not to like think about the fact that this run's still pretty spicy. You know, relief is not likely to come for a while here. Yeah, we're not going to get a deal with the devil there. Obviously, we're just taking the Polaroid because it's what you take. So, I don't know, man. It's, you know, we're locked in. We're locked in for a bit. Womb XL. Bit of a spicy room. Could be good, could be bad. We don't know yet. Can we even get a deal with the devil? Yeah, we can get it. Why wouldn't you be able to get a deal with the devil on Womb XL? That's a good point. I'm going to choose to think of this as a positive because if we find our boss rooms quickly, it benefits us. We're only 2 items away from becoming Guppy. I will also, so that's like a bit of a stretch. 2 items from the same deal with the devil is possible, but first you got to get the deal with the devil. Then it's got to have 2 Guppy items. Like, we're really dealing with like single-digit percentages there. I will actually just say that like one of the most likely ways we win, I think, is just getting 9 lives. If 9 lives shows up, we're over the moon. We will occasionally just, you know, I've decided why leave before we get hit. Have you guys always had this much HP? I feel compelled to leave. It was not worth it, but at least now we know. Now we know it wasn't worth it. Okay. So we'll probably just cool it a little on the banter, just because, you know, like, I think you do get into, like, a flow state when you banter, which is obviously ideal, you know, if you could play better because you're playing kind of unconsciously. I'm just kind of trying to keep it on the level right now, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep it steady, not trying to get so distracted with whatever, you know, kind of like Home Alone 2 style tangent we're on that we're really gonna, you know, possibly risk it all. So we're just gonna stay, I was gonna say steady as a clam. That's not a word, or I mean it's words, it's not a phrase. I mean it is a phrase, but it's not a phrase people use. I mean I did just use it, but I mean like it's not a phrase that other people used before I used it. On purpose, at least. Don't care. You know what? I was willing to take a stab at that one just because I thought we might get a battery back from one of the enemies, but no such luck. It's alright, we're close. I mean, this floor is going really well. For the love of God, why are you using your real orbital instead of the fly that at least has like some clearance on it? Just trying not to get swept away like Madonna and Guy Ritchie here. Like how they got swept away by their fame in the early 2000s, so they made the film Swept Away. That reminds me, actually, I watched like a third of Battlefield Earth before bed last night. Why? I really like bad movies, and bad sci-fi is kind of like in a class all of its own. It is insane to me, though, to watch, and I've seen Battlefield Earth before. It's just like an absolutely unhinged performance from John Travolta as Turl, Earth's security officer. Some of the lines that, like, it's just, he's so gleefully chewing scenery, like, the whole time. While you were still learning to spell your name, I was being trained to conquer galaxies. To do anything less is a disgrace to my entire family line. It's on Netflix. Would I recommend watching it? I really would, because it's so bad as to be impressive. There's so much about the movie that's like noteworthy, I would say at least 50% of the shots in the movie are Dutch angle, which is when, instead of being like level with the horizon, they're like rotated and angled. Some might say Dutchly. And normally a Dutch angle is kind of used to convey like unease, but when you use it so much, you know, for seemingly no reason in the same movie, it really is just nauseating, which I know I'm not offering a glowing review of the product here. I mean, to be honest, it's not really what I'm all about here. I'm trying to explain to you that the movie is just, there's so many things in the movie where you just go, like, why? Like, you had so many options to maybe not make it good, but at least not make it so bad. And yet you chose this. Also, I would say, like, within the first... So, Barry Pepper is the lead actor in the movie, which... You probably know his face. You might not know his actual name, but... He was also in, like... he's been a cop in some movies. He was in Spike Lee's 25th Hour with Ed Norton, which is an amazing movie if you've never seen it. But, you know, it opens the movie, and literally, like... First thing you see is him, like, on horseback, and then he rides into his village and goes, like, his love interest goes, "I'm sorry, your father didn't make it through the night." And he falls to his knees and goes, "No!" Like, in slow motion, like Darth Vader. And I swear to you, he does that, like, 3 more times within the first 20 minutes of the movie. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's like nobody making Battlefield Earth had ever seen a movie before to have like a... They're just like, more drama. Crank up the drama. At all times, crank up the drama. Every scene has something worth commenting on. Let's put it that way. I need to watch the whole rest of the movie. But it starts strong by starting weak. Let's put it that way. I'd recommend it. I think it's... my personal taste in film. If you could watch a noteworthy movie that's great, that's awesome. Otherwise, I would much rather watch a movie that's so bad that it's truly remarkable than watch a movie that's like half decent. I get more pleasure out of the thing that's horrible. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we kind of whiffed on Skull X here, but we probably should be completely fine regardless. And again, like, I feel the need to just stress that because the run has been, like, relatively calm up to this point, you might think easy win, like he's getting carried. It's really just cracked the sky. So it does not take a huge leap of imagination to understand how this run could go horribly wrong. Cat o' Nine Tails is good. It's maybe not the kind of, like, world-beating item we might have wanted, but it's definitely good. And if we get hit, it's very simple. If we get hit and it's, like, around this stage of the fight, we have the Hermit card out. If we get hit and it's a little later, we might be able to justify it. Jawbone is doing incredible work for us here. I had forgotten that it, like, destroys shots. Okay, please, for the love of God. It's actually really good. So, like, Incubus is awesome. You know, not the item, but the band. How do you do it? Make me feel like I do. But, and Contract from Below, very good once we get to the chest. If our luck stat is, you know, good enough to get us to, you know, I mean, you don't need me to say it. We need to get chests in order for it to be worth it, but it's not like, it's not bad. I'd rather have it than not have it. Incubus is basically like double damage, which is... I would love to undersell it, but it is really good. We still, like, I would say, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily predict a win here, but I wouldn't necessarily predict a loss. This one's kind of is hanging in the balance right now. Without Incubus, or like, let's assume we didn't get our deal with the devil, I probably would have been like, this one is getting pretty close to having no future, but I don't know. I mean, there's always a chance. We've made it this far. I think we played a pretty good game so far. Certainly haven't thrown any HP away, because we couldn't, because we'd be dead. But definitely would love to see 9 lives. Even still, I'm not worried about like losing my glory or whatever on this run. I would just, you know, you're dealing with I got gray hairs in my beard, man. Like we're getting to the point where I'm more interested in perhaps like just a comfortable finish to this run than blowing the world away, you know? That's my take. That's not a metaphor for life. I'm, you know, still on the younger side. I don't know. I guess like at 32, probably are like I'm younger than the average Canadian for sure, because we're old as dirt over here. But like I bet worldwide, I'm probably over the average age. Which once you start thinking about it, you're like, ooh. not because I'm old, but because like the implications of that are kind of crappy. But well, I guess they're not like. What are the implications of that? I guess is, you know, there's a lot of people being born, but also maybe people aren't making it as, you know. Okay, so maybe the implicate. We don't need to get into it. It's a whole like a demographics thing. I don't know. I'm not a you know, a researcher in that sense. I was gonna say I don't take the census, but what I mean is I don't administer the census. Were we given the long-form census, I would have filled it out. But instead, last time we got the census, I'm pretty sure it had like 5 questions. It was like name, what gender do you identify as, marital status, and then also like what language do you speak at home. And I was like, okay, this is like the most boring questionnaire of all time. I was like, English. And they were like, oh, thanks for your feedback. That's a really useful data point. Okay. It looks like we are going to make it to the chest. Which in its own way is, like, we're not against all odds here. But we're against some of the odds. And we still got this, this hermit card in case, we decide that it would be relevant for us to use it, i.e. if we get hit. Now, that's a pretty big whiff, but hear me out. D20. All of a sudden, we got ourselves 1 extra item. It's not horrible. It's not very good, but this, on the other hand, is horrible. Oh my god. We didn't get hit. This is a room that in the future you'd like to have Crack the Sky for. I'm a little stunned. I think there's something to be said for just having like a fail-safe in general, making you play better. Like, I feel like the fact that I have this hermit card has led to me just staying calm in like these difficult situations, not freaking out, and that might lead to actually like doing better overall. Like, there's no world in which we should have gotten out of that without taking a hit. Dude, this floor is already so cursed. What are these rooms where it's like they're already difficult, but then they're like, oh yeah, now there's a champ. They're both champions as well, just to totally screw your muscle memory up. You're very sneaky. These guys they're moving sneaky like the horse in chess. They like drop a bomb, then they try to close out your escape route. Very spicy indeed. Another room has bitten the dust. We did pick up an item. 18 mega bombs. We have been hit. You gotta teleport. It's that simple. So hopefully, it's unlikely, but hopefully, the boss is over here. Now that I see that we're so close to the original spawn point, not too likely. Really, like, if we make it to the boss, I would predict a win at this point. Especially, like, I've really underestimated the usefulness of Jawbone. Like, I didn't realize... Oh, that was such a good bomb. I didn't realize, like, how important this item could be. At least against enemies who shoot bullets. Okay, this is... You gotta be careful. We shouldn't need to use our spacebar item, but you just want to make sure you're paying attention. Because the Crack the Sky play is really like... It's kind of our original get-out-of-jail-free card. Which is why we used it right there. Because we were almost in jail. Because we know this is a tiny room, we're just gonna pop in. I don't know, maybe that's... Yeah, that doesn't really... That logic doesn't really make any sense, but... On the bright side, the room is not that bad. The movie is that bad, which is why it's that good, but this room itself is not that bad. Room, by the way, amazing movie. I don't know if there's so much of a gulf. Like, I have to imagine that the gap... hold on. I might focus for a minute here. Jawbone. If you had lips, I'd kiss you. Just trying to be safe. Part of being safe means not trying to kick a bomb to the other side of the map here. I can't believe it. Well, I guess... I just wish I knew what room has the monsters in it. It's gotta be the upper room here, because otherwise we wouldn't have found all these other rooms adjacent. So let's start here first. This is not so bad. It's not double adversary bad. But, like, do you think there's ever been a situation where somebody tried to, like, rent the room, and they accidentally rented room, or streamed a room? And they're like, hey, where's the guy with the accent? What the heck? I thought I was gonna watch the worst movie ever made. Instead, I ended up seeing a movie that got nominated for Best Picture in 2013. What a ripoff. And then, of course, the flip side is very funny to think about as well. Where's Brie Larson? I thought Brie Larson was in this. Does she play Lisa? She looks a little different. But there are similarities. Both The Room and Room mostly take place in one location. And I won't say any more than that because I don't want to spoil The Room for you. If you haven't seen Room, I would really recommend it. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen The Room, I would really recommend it. It's very, it's noteworthy. So I am now, I mean, we got a couple of ways out here. We're just trying to find different ways to avoid the adversary room. That's very nice. But it would be awesome if this was just the boss room. Which it frickin' is, dude. Which it frickin' is. Okay. Most important thing. Don't just take damage. Don't just run in there. Don't assume this run is over. We're probably gonna have one more, like, heart attack moment. Where we just are, like, we think we're gonna get hit, but we don't. You can place down some bombs. See, there's our little heart attack moment. But I'm coming to terms with the fact, if we get hit, I, as a human being, will live. I'm a little worried about Jawbone, like, sucking a bomb back at us. I don't know if that's how it works, but hopefully it has some kind of indicator. It's like, hey, this is ordnance. Little close there. Little close for comfort. Hey, would you look at that? Easiest win of my life. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. I'm, like, good at Isaac again, apparently. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. See ya!